Hello, everybody. Hey, thank you so much for your interest in PianoStream. My name is Richie, and I just thought that I would spend just a couple of minutes with you to quickly familiarize you with this app. So, when you first download it, you'll see that it says analog up at the top, and then it also has a digital button. So, you can switch between these two interfaces. Because of these two interfaces, the app then becomes extremely compatible with pretty much everything ever made. So the analog is mostly for piano disc systems, QRS systems, and believe it or not, it actually works on a lot of disc claviers as well. But the analog, let me just turn this down, has this fax sound that most of you or many of you have probably heard before. So if you have a piano disc system or a QRS system, then you're very familiar with that fax sound. So if you hear the fax sound right now, obviously you're not connected to your piano. But what you do is you see the little AirPlay icon right there. You'll actually touch that, and then you'll connect to a Bluetooth receiver underneath your piano disc IQ or underneath your piano disc Prodigy. And with the piano disc Prodigy, it's already built in, so you can just go to settings and then touch Bluetooth and then connect to the Bluetooth audio system on your Prodigy, and then you'll just AirPlay this music over to that. So I won't get into all those details. I'm sure that most of you already understand how that works. If you'll notice up at the top, you'll see that little I button. I am actually working on this web page right now as we speak, so it's not done, but it will be pretty soon. So there's going to be a lot of information here. And then the other thing too, though, is that we have a Facebook page. In fact, let me just go to that Facebook page, and I'm going to touch. Let's touch that. Oh, and that's me right there with the happy little face right there, right? Okay, let's touch the search button, PianoStream group. Okay, and so please join us. I would love to have you here with us. We see this member just posted his piano happily singing and playing away. And here, though, we have tons of beautiful information. Lots of videos, fun stuff too. There's a CD-only piano disc system. And I post stuff. I try not to be too annoying, but I post stuff. There's just lots of information here. So please, if you would, join us, okay? PianoStream Group is what it's called, and we would love to have you there because we just have all kinds of tutorials that will just show you everything. And I will try to keep the website updated, but the Facebook thing is live, and so it's kind of nice. And then we also let you know whenever we post new songs and whenever we have any kind of news regarding the app. So let's go back to the app right there. Now let's switch over to the digital interface, okay? So now the digital interface, what's amazing about this is that this will pretty much work on every piano out there as long as the piano has MIDI in or MIDI out, or actually both, MIDI in and out. And that would pretty much include almost every piano that's ever been made. And so the way this works is you just touch your little stations button. Let's just pull up the free demo station, okay? Wait for that to load. And now let's pretend that I'm connected to a piano. So if I touch the gear cog, I can turn on the local sound. See that? Right there. I'm going to turn it on so that you can hear what the piano would sound like if I were connected. So, and the way you get this to connect is you have to have a Bluetooth device under the piano. And then once that Bluetooth device is under the piano, then you touch this little bow tie thingy, and settings. I need to allow, okay, I need to allow new connections. All that's pretty much standard stuff. But then you'll just search for, whatever Bluetooth device it is that you're using. If you have a Prodigy system, you'll see PD silent drive. And if you're using another device, which is called a Yamaha BT01, then that device will show up. And so let me show you that device really fast. Let's just go to Amazon. And there's Amazon right there, and I'm going to search for MD-BT01. And this thing, you definitely want to have one. And I actually suggest you get one even if you have a Prodigy, because this thing's a beautiful backup. And it's always there. It always works. And it's about $55, okay, as you can see. So then you get this device, you get under your piano, and you find MIDI in and MIDI out, and you plug it in. And then you connect to it. And then you also want to update it, and that's pretty easy to do. Then you just go to the App Store, and then you're going to search for MD-BT01, okay? and then this app right there will show up. See that right there? And then you'll open that app and then allow, and then the device will show up right here, and then it'll allow you to update the firmware and also to rename it. Okay? And then once you have this device, then you'll want to plug into the MIDI in and MIDI out ports of your piano. And let's see, I might have a picture on this web page. I do already. So, excuse me, if you do have, like for example, this is a Disclavier Mark III. And notice how you have the MIDI in and the MIDI out. You'll take that device and you'll plug it in there. Also, make sure that that little switch is slid over to MIDI. And this is the case with a few Yamaha Disclaviers. And if you have a Prodigy, you'll notice on the Prodigy, right on the CPU, you have the MIDI in and MIDI out. If you have a QRS, you'll most likely have a MIDI in and MIDI out, sometimes just a MIDI in, and I'll explain that in a minute. And then these are just other areas online where you can get that device. Okay, so let's pretend that you've plugged that device in, and let's play like you have an Inspire, okay? It's plugged in under your Inspire. Then let's go back to the app. Once again, you just touch this little thing right here. The device comes up, you connect to it, and then you actually touch these little up and down arrows until you see it in the window. Then you hit OK, and then you hit play, and your piano plays. So that is the digital interface. Now let's go over and let's talk about the analog for a minute. If you have a Piano Disc Prodigy, then once again, just go to settings and go to Bluetooth, and then connect to the Silent Drive Bluetooth receiver that the Prodigy already has. If you have an IQ, you probably already have some device, and it might be an Airport Express, which I no longer recommend. I think there's a much better way to do this. And so there are a couple of ways to use this analog interface, and one of those ways is through a device called B06 on Amazon. So let's go back to Amazon, and let's just type in B06, and this thing is a powerful little device, and there it is right there. It's only $31, and it works incredibly well. Has these nice little antennas. Get a little bit of Velcro, stick that thing under the piano, and then take its output and plug it into the line in on the IQ box. Okay, and once again, it works really well. It's really nice. The only annoying thing about it, though, is that if you use your iPhone with PianoStream, the second you walk in your house, even when you're outside, it will actually connect to this device. And so you'll be like texting someone, and then everyone can hear little beeps coming out of the piano on your speaker because the Bluetooth just automatically connects, which is really annoying. And to be honest with you, even with Piano Disc, and I love Piano Disc, but their system is so powerful that no matter where you are outside, it automatically connects. And then your phone, unless you turn off the Bluetooth, you are connected to your piano all the time. So that is why there's actually a better way to use Prodigy and a better way to use Piano Disc IQ, and that is with another device called AudioCast. And the reason why is because AudioCast is a Wi-Fi receiver. And also this one right there, see the Airy-Lick? I don't even know how to say that. That one also works incredibly well. It's obviously more money. They do have a less expensive version. But what you want, the best setup for your Piano Disc IQ or for your QRS or for your Prodigy is one of these Wi-Fi audio receivers, because then when you use this device, you connect to the piano when you want to. You touch the AirPlay and it's always there, and then you select the AudioCast. And I will put a couple of videos right on this webpage, which will show you exactly how to connect this thing so that you don't have to fight it. But notice it has, an audio out, so you'll just use a 3mm male-to-male stereo cable, and you'll take that cable and plug it into the audio in, or the line in on your Piano Disc IQ, or and if you want to use this with Prodigy, then you'll need a 3mm 2 RCA, and just plug that into the input on the Prodigy, and then you'll switch there's a little switch on the side of the CPU of the Prodigy, which you'll slide down to analog, because by default it's set at Bluetooth. But this is the best way that I've found to use your Piano Disc IQ or your Piano Disc Prodigy, and also your QRS, and even your piano quarter if you have one of those. And then, sorry, I know I'm saying a lot of stuff here, but even with a Disclavier, this thing works incredibly well, because there are some Disclaviers out there which will allow you to send an analog signal, and the piano will play and sing. So once again, that's AudioCast, and it's really, really simple to use, okay? Okay, I've probably said enough. I don't know how much time has passed by since I started this video, but I hope that kind of explained things a little bit. And maybe, oh, you know what? Maybe I'll just show you one last thing really fast. If you go to YouTube, let's see if it'll pull up. And if you just type in Hayes IQ, and that's me. Then my station will pull up, and then there you're going to see all Richie Hayes is my name. Hello, everybody. So let's just go there, and let's just touch videos. And here I have everything under the sun. And so if you watch these videos and you listen to all this, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to be taking too much of your time because I want you to understand this thing as fast as possible. But at the same time, you're going to get so much enjoyment out of it that it would behoove you to completely understand it because it's really nice. Okay, and with that, I will end this video. And once again, I thank you for your time, and I thank you especially if you decide to help us and, subscribe and keep this dream of mine alive. So, okay, thank you, everybody.